I mean, instead of faking confidence, how about practice courage? The courage to face whatever it is that is what you think you might be faking, right? I don't know. Wanting to be home but is doing that thing because someone says it's the right thing to do, but standing up for yourself and saying, this time around, no, I'm going to pass. Fake it until you make it. Follow your passions. Everything happens for a reason. Good vibes only. Hustle harder. Hey, hi there, guys. Warren here. Today, I want to talk about something that I'm probably going to get beat up for, and that is hanging on to terms like fake it till you make it. And I say that I'm probably going to get beat up because I heard that from a couple of friends. Where exactly is irrelevant, but if they watch the video, they'll know to what I'm referring. And this is not an indictment on anyone who says and believes that. It is an indictment, I think, on us and our human conditions, if I should take any liberties. And I started out with some other examples of ones we use, and I used a specific one in there that I've done a video about before, and that is that everything happens for a reason. And here's the problem with that, I think, and I'll circle back to our topic today. But it's part of the topic, so I'm not really going too far off. But here's the problem with that. You tell a mom who just lost a child, either during birth, during the process, during nurturing and carrying the child in her womb, and then to lose the child, and you tell her that everything happens for a reason. And my question to you, and probably hers to you too, would be, what reason would that be? Punishment from the gods? And for what? So many questions, right? When we get into that borrowing what looks like wisdom and latching on to it, and then the cynic would say, come on, Warren, we just say it, but we really don't mean it. Don't we? Don't we? I mean, you just think of the examples that I just used and tell me how many of them become habits that we actually get wrapped around the axle about and don't metaphorically pull the trigger on other things because we believe that. We start to believe it because we've said it so often. And I mean, I want to peel it back a little bit because there are nuances to everything, right? Shades of gray between black and white, like I like to say. So I want to unpack it, pull it out, instead of looking at it at such a narrowed view. Because again, I get it, and I don't want my friends to think, like I said, or anyone watching, to think that this is an indictment on individuals. It's our human condition, our human nature. But the first part of that is fake it, right? My question to you is, fake what? Money? Confidence? Competence? Success? Being driven? Qualified? See where I'm going with it? I mean, fake what? Worse yet, happiness? Because if I'm pretending to be something and someone that I'm not, then by definition, and in terms of our growth and pursuing our growth, then by definition, we're practicing inauthenticity. And I would think that towards our growth, that's what we're trying to do, is to become more authentic, right? And I think that should give us pause. Again, because what we say, there's a poem out there about that. What we say becomes our habits, I think, and I'm paraphrasing, and a lot of more profound verses in there. But I mean, I said that should give us pause, but it should. And then there's until you make it. Make what? Is my question again. Money, success, confidence, peace, authenticity. What is it until we make it? What is the until we make it? Who decides where make it and made it is? I mean, because that's a slippery phrase, or at least I think so. Because I mentioned the danger of borrowed wisdom, right? Latching on to these things. The examples I use, like everything happens for a reason, hustle harder. And again, nuances, right? Nothing wrong with a hustle as long as there is balance. Nothing wrong with following your passion as long as it is feasible, it is rational, reasonable, thought through, goal set against it. But I mean, what is it that we are faking? Our real authentic selves, our messy middle, because that's what it is. This is the messy middle, okay? The times when you are in the crowd and feel like being elsewhere and you have a smile on your face, you're not faking it. You're happy to be there, but you'd be happier elsewhere. Because if you weren't truly happy to be there, I would go out on a limb and say, unless again, we are lying to ourselves through the habits that the cynic would say, Warren, we just say it, we don't believe it. We'd be happier elsewhere, but because we know that being with these people make us happy too, we do it. And the smile on our face is not a fake. Because if there was something to cry about, I'm sure you would cry. I mean, it's just, we put ourselves in these boxes with these labels and these self-imposed obstacles through mindset that, again, metaphorically, will not let us, and I want to stay with will not, because some people will not pull the metaphorical trigger in their lives because of some of these beliefs that they think they're just repeating, but really they're living. And I mean, we do this, and here's the problematic piece with this. We do this without asking, wait, what? Is that actually true? Right? Back to my intentional example of a mother who's lost a child. You tell her everything happens for a reason, and unless she believes that too, you see what her reaction will be. Because, again, until you dissect it and take it apart, peel the onion back, as they say, you don't really look at it sometimes in that context until someone else comes along and highlights it for us. I mean, most of what I talk about on our channel isn't Warren's got it right, and Warren woke up with it right. It's lived experience, lived examples. And you say, all right, fine, okay. What do you recommend? Again, I don't have it figured out, but I tell you what has worked for me. Don't fake confidence. If you feel confident in whatever it is you're doing, you are confident. It's, yeah, I use it in the example in the opening, asking, faking what? I mean, instead of faking confidence, how about practice courage? The courage to face whatever it is that is what you think you might be faking, right? I don't know. Wanting to be home but is doing that thing because someone says it's the right thing to do, but standing up for yourself and saying, this time around, no, I'm going to pass. Instead of lying to yourself, because you're not lying to them by saying you're coming, you're lying to yourself. So instead of lying to yourself, how about you practice courage, the courage to say no. Did another episode about that too. And I would say don't fake kindness. Think about that one, right? Don't fake kindness, practice kindness. And you say, how can I fake kindness? Talking about it. A lot of us do that. We see the unkindness and we talk about it. But again, Michael Jackson, person in the mirror. When was the last time you practiced kindness? And all of this in aggregate comes down to something we often don't do. I struggled with it I still struggle with it in some things. And that is not faking discipline, but practicing discipline, the discipline to show kindness, to practice courage, to step off into the absurdity anyway and push that metaphorical boulder up the hill knowing it's going to roll back down, but understanding that the universe offers us no answers and asking it for them is absurd. All right, but doing it anyway, understanding that that is our world. That is our niche. That is who we are. If we cry because we feel sad, if we inside would rather be home with a comfy book, curled up on the sofa and not with the family and the friends or doing that thing, it's okay. It's okay. Because here's the thing. One, ask us, the faking it till you make it, ask us to wear a mask. Ooh, yes, I went there. So is that what you're doing? I ask you, is that what you're doing for the rest of your life, all the way up until this point? Have you been wearing a mask? Because if the answer is yes, then you've been lying to so many people, to include yourself. I'm not preaching. I've lived these things because I too believed that if everyone is saying it, then it must be true. And if everyone is doing it, it must be true. On the other hand, though, the other thing, right, not faking it till we make it, the opposite of that is to just build character around our values, right? And that's what I'd leave you with. Ask yourself, what are your values? And when you genuinely and honestly answer them, then you build your character around them. And if you're quirky, it is okay, as long as you're kind with good character. If you're serious most of your time, it's okay, as long as your values have built a good person around a character. If you're a jokester, you get the picture. Not going to keep you just to keep you and use all the examples, but you get the picture. I just recommend that we stop beating ourselves up about who we are and thinking that there is someone hidden inside that we're just not finding. And maybe that's true in some respects. And that, excuse me, that bleeds over into the medical side. But often, in my humble non-medical assessment, I think we're just looking for someone that is right in front of our faces. Us. Because we're comparing. Why am I not like X? Why doesn't my life look like X? Why don't I drive this car? Why don't I live in this house? Why don't I speak like that? And so we look for what is staring us right in the face. And again, I don't mean it to be preachy, but we have to be comfortable being uncomfortable with the truth about us and our human condition. But I'll leave you with that, all right? Yeah, I don't subscribe to those things because I don't think that, especially everything happens for a reason. It's just randomness. It's all randomness. There is no rhyme or reason behind it. And if that bleeds over into those with the religious side, that's so for another conversation, okay? Because I have a lot of questions where that's concerned, but I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone for today. All right? So just don't beat yourself up so much. Love who you see in the mirror. Love who you see in the mirror. How many times did I say that? 2. Here's the third one. Love who you see in the mirror. And until our next conversation, you be good out there. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk again soon. I'll see you.